Well, this is great, isn't it?
What's that?
You and me going together, working together, like Tracy and Hepburn in that movie where they were both lawyers.
Adam's Rib?
Right, or Laurel and Hardy when they were in the French Foreign Legion.
Sons of the Desert.
Or Abbott and Costello when they met Frankenstein. What was that called?
Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein?
Okay. You want to hear my promo?
Yes.
He was one of the most exciting ball players of all time. Yes, for 24 years, Pete Rose gave his heart and his soul to the game of baseball. Broke records once deemed unbreakable and deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Well, let's hear yours.
Pete Rose is a convicted felon who betrayed himself, his fans, and the game he laughingly says he loved. Many will never forgive him.
Gee, Gail, it's a little cruel, isn't it?
That's how I feel.
He's a friend of mine.
Well, here's a good question. Why do all your friends end up in jail?
Gee, I give up. Why?
Bobby.
To get to the other side?
Don't take my word, just take my heart. You're all I can think about tonight. Resist the edge, no, I can't stop. 'Cause playing hard to get ain't worth the fight. Sometimes it hurts my pride, but I don't really mind. 'Cause all I really want with you, you want it too. Here we go. Coming in, hear it loud and clear. Still my heart keeps going boom, boom, boom. Happens every single time you're near. Hear my heart keeps going. Can't you hear my heart go boom, boom, boom? Oh, boom, boom, boom. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Bravely, Fred has faced one too many healthy but boring breakfasts.
Enough! I want taste, indulgence. Kellogg's Frosted Mini Wheats?
Fred.
Naughty frosting.
Freddie, Kellogg's Frosted Mini Wheats are good for you. There's fiber.
No.
And no salt.
But they taste so good.
And they're fat-free, see?
Fat-free? Ooh.
Kellogg's Frosted Mini Wheats. Surprise, they're good for you.
You see it your way. I see it mine.
Cincinnati tickets.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, lift off in exactly T-minus 3 hours and counting. Now listen, I don't need to impress on anybody how important this Pete Rose interview is. Now no one, not the networks, not CNN, not even that damn MTV has been able to get to Pete Rose. So I don't want anything screwing this up. Now Mac's got a list of questions you're going to be allowed to ask.
Wait a minute. Allowed to ask? You said this was going to be a no-holds-barred interview.
Well, we ran into a few snags. Mac?
Mr. Rose's people are a little touchy about certain subjects.
What subjects?
Gambling, tax evasion, the Hall of Fame.
How touchy?
You can't mention them.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Oh, good. This is just great. Tell me, are we going to be able to talk about baseball?
Well, that's still being negotiated, and that is very possible.
No way. That's it. It's a puff piece now. I won't go.
Oh, come on. Gail, Pete's had it rough enough.
What he did was wrong. Everyone knows that.
No, everybody doesn't know that. I mean, Pete's got lots of supporters.
Well, then they can go to Ohio. I can't.
Well, you can or you won't.
I won't, all right?
No, it's not all right. Whoa, look at the time, sir. I think we're due in an up.
Yeah, I sure don't need to get any paint on my butt to know the porch ain't dry.
Why do you do things like that?
What?
That. What was that?
Was a meeting.
I don't like being challenged like that. How can you go and still call yourself a journalist?
Oh, Gail, come on, we're not journalists. We're a couple of good-looking blondes who sit in front of a camera and read scores.
Oh, maybe that's how you see yourself. I see myself a little differently.
Yeah, right. That's why it takes you 2 hours to do your hair so that you can sit in front of a camera and read scores. I mean, you're a regular Paul Winch.
Walter Winchell, what am I doing with you?
Come on. I don't want to fight with you. I want you to come to Cincinnati with me and meet my friend Pete.
No.
For me?
I can't. I won't. No.
I got a plane to catch.
Bobby, I'm sorry.
Me too.
One of the most exciting ball players of all time. Yes, for 24 years, Pete Rose gave his heart and soul to the game he loved, while breaking records once deemed unbreakable. Then in 1989, Pete went from hero to villain, amidst gambling allegations that resulted in his banishment from baseball, and served 5 months in a Marion, Illinois prison for tax evasion. Hi, I'm Gail Roberts. And today we take you live to Cincinnati, where we join correspondent Bobby Tannen with an ASCN exclusive. Bobby?
Gail, I'm sitting here in Cincinnati with one of the greatest baseball players to ever put on a uniform. I'm talking about number 14, Pete Rose. Hi, Pete.
Hi, Bobby. How you doing?
Fine.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you. Tell me, is that a new haircut?
Bobby, don't start already on my hair, all right? Not again. We've been through this how many times?
500. Listen, he and I, we have this thing we do together. You know, he teases me about my weight, and I tell him, well, if he spins around real fast, he'll take off like a human helicopter.
Not the helicopter joke again.
Okay, that's it. No more jokes. I'm going to get to statistics, if you don't mind.
Do you have to?
Let me. The all-time Major League record for career hits. All-time Major League record for most games played. I like this one. The Major League record for playing in the most winning games. 1,972 games.
Now, that's a good one. You know, of all the records that I have, that's the one I'm proudest of.
1,972 games. I mean, to me, that's absolutely amazing. What are the odds of a record like that ever even being broken?
The what?
Sorry. That was just awesome. So let's talk about baseball.
Yeah.
You must be proud of your old team, the Cincinnati Reds, copping the World Series up there.
You know, I played in 6 World Series myself, and we were fortunate enough to win 3, and we lost 3, and I never enjoyed any, as you know, quite like the one I enjoyed in 1990.
Pete, what about this year, 1991? Who's your money on?
Oh, come on, man. Give me a...
I'm sorry, these are just expressions.
Bad ones. Real bad ones.
Gail, is there anything you'd like to ask Pete?
No.
Gail, this is Pete Rose. Is there anything you'd like to ask him, honey?
Yes, but I can't.
Gail, Bobby told me why you didn't want to come to Cincinnati with him, and I really appreciate your opinion.
Look, it has nothing to do with you personally, Pete.
You know I disappointed a lot of friends and a lot of fans the last couple years, and I'm very sorry for that. And that's all I can say. I can say it over and over again. I'm very sorry. And right now I'm doing my community service, and I'm trying to pay my debt to society so I can go on with my life. And, you know, if you think facing Nolan Ryan is tough, obviously it is. Or if you think there's pressure in a World Series, there is. Or if you think standing in front of a federal judge is tough, it's very tough. But, you know, when I was at Marion, Illinois, and my young son, Tyler, who was 6 years old, used to come and visit me, and you talk about pressure, is staying out in front of the visiting room and waving goodbye to him as he hung out a car window. And to think about the support that my wife, Carol, gave me during this whole ordeal, and there's no substitute for love and support. And To have a woman like I have right now, I'm very fortunate, very lucky. And I think, you know, when this is all over and done, what do you have other than your family?
Gail, do you hear what he's saying? Are you listening? Gail, are we going to start a family or what?
Bobby, what are you saying?
I'll tell you what I'm saying. I'm saying, Gail Roberts, will you be my wife?
Oh.
Look at me, I'm crying like a baby.
Thank you, Pete. Bobby? Also in baseball, the Boston Red Sox went up against a hot Orioles team. The Ripken brothers did most of the damage, combining for 6 hits and 7 RBIs. And you know what? I just got proposed to, so I think that we better go to commercial soon. How about now? Thank you. Oh, gosh.
2 dirty socks, oh my, oh me. Let's wash this one with Clorox bleach. This dirty sock, let's take it home and wash it too in detergent alone. Now look at those socks, see what we mean. There's only one way to get them Clorox clean.
Say you're a countertop. Which would you rather be cleaned with? Soft scrub cleanser with Clorox bleach, which cleans tough stains without harsh scratching, or this scratchy powder? Oh, wise choice. Soft scrub with bleach, preferred by countertops everywhere.
This will drive him crazy, but it's for his own good.
I threw out all junk food.
He has no self-control.
I married a health nut.
I did get him something good for breakfast.
New Kellogg's Nutri-Grain cereal bars, so delicious with real fruit fillings and whole grain, he won't know it's good for him.
Can you stand all this love and attention?
I could get used to it.
New Kellogg's Nutri-Grain bars, a taste of how much you care.
Okay, blankets.
Blanket.
Bunny.
Bunny.
Donut.
Donut.
What kind of an example is that?
Oh.
Yeah, come on, try these.
Introducing Kellogg's Nutri-Grain cereal bars.
These new?
Uh-huh.
New Kellogg's Nutri-Grain bars have whole grain goodness with real fruit filling, no preservatives or cholesterol.
Good, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kellogg's Nutri-Grain bars can start your morning off right.
Have we got everything? Baby.
New Kellogg's Nutri-Grain bars.
Tuesday, a woman home alone with a small child is brutally attacked.
Nobody was going to be coming home for a long time.
A woman's test of courage.
On rescue, 911.
Their baby's born with complications. Mary Beth Hurt, John Lithgow.
What chance does my baby have?
Based on the true story, Baby Girl Scott, Friday.
You're invited to Norman Lear's Sunday dinner, where the subject is God.
I don't stand in judgment. The Lord does.
Well, I have a feeling I had a hell of a lot better chance with the Lord than I do with you.
You may be right about that.
Then, the very first episode of All in the Family.
You married the laziest white man I ever seen.
A Norman Lear comedy double feature after 60 Minutes Sunday.
Sweating bullets tonight on CBS Late Night. It's too hot to sleep.
You got something on your mind, huh, Gail?
No.
Huh?
Thank you, Mr. Rappaport. I'm okay.
Well, I'm here to talk about it if you want to.
Oh, thank you, sir, but I don't feel comfortable talking about my personal life. With the boss, it's kind of a rule I've always had.
Now, Gail, your boyfriend just proposes to you on my network live, and you tell me you don't talk about your personal life? I think that little rule's already been bent to hell.
It's been that kind of day.
Gail, when my son Antoine was about 8 years old, he got on the wrong bus coming home from school, and, well, to make a long story short, he ended up lost in the woods, and it got dark. Now, I was in New York at a meeting, and all of a sudden, something just went off in my head and my heart, and I jumped on a plane. I got back here, I turned this county upside down. At 2:10 a.m., I found him, sitting under a willow tree, crying in the dark. I held him in my arms, and he said, "Daddy, please don't be mad at me." And I said, "Son, as long as you're safe, I'm happy." Now, see, I didn't need anyone to tell me my child was in trouble. I just knew.
That's a beautiful story.
You're confused about Bobby's proposal, aren't you?
Oh, more than anything in my life.
Gail, I remember when you first showed up here a few years back. I never saw such a nervous, gawky bunch of insecurities in my whole life. I said to myself, boy, this girl is just going to explode any minute. And then you started talking about why you wanted to be a sportscaster. Lord, I never heard anyone that had so many reasons to get a job. And I sat there and I listened to you jabber on. And I said to myself, RJ, you know this girl is a mess. But there's something about her that makes me feel good. And I sat there and I watched you light up my whole office with your presence, your charm, your humor, your intelligence, your tenacity. And I've watched you do it 1,000 times since. Now, you know, Gail, if you were my daughter, this is the day I would choose to tell you that I love you very, very much. And that if you accidentally got on the wrong bus and got lost, I'd find you. And as long as you were safe, I'd be happy. Now, this is the truest nature of love, Gail. And that's what I would tell you on this day if you were my daughter. Now, you know, this is an old suit. I wouldn't care one bit if it got wet.
I love him, you know. I just can't marry him now. It feels wrong.
Now, as long as you feel something, honey, you're doing just fine. You're doing just fine.
Yeah.
Mac! Oh, Mac, I've been looking all over for you.
How did you ferret me out? Cops? Private eye? Say, I loved your Pete Rose interview, especially that little section about Pete Rose.
Don't tease me now, please. I'm very fragile. You saw what I did.
Uh-huh. That's why I sought out this incredibly clever hiding place.
I love her, Mac. I love her, but does that automatically mean I have to marry her?
Well, gee, Bob, it seems to me that proposing to her on the air like that wasn't the best way to avoid that particular dilemma.
It just came out. It just came out. I do things like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. What do you call a guy like me?
A flibbity-gibbet? A will-o'-the-wisp? A clown? I don't know either, Bob.
What am I going to do?
Well, Bob, marriage is many things to many people. It can be the blissful union of two souls joyously enveloped in the journey of love and growth. Or it can be a pit of acid and black eternal hell. The question is, are you ready for marriage?
No. Well, yeah. I mean, no. Sometimes yes. When it's not, no.
Well, there's your answer.
It's gonna be hard to say no to him. You saw how excited he was.
Gail, guilt-ridden. I just want everyone to be happy, Gail. You've got to be firm. I remember when Jason asked me the first time. He was very traditional. He brought me a dozen roses. He took me to dinner at a beautiful restaurant under the Brooklyn Bridge, and then, with the majestic skyline of Manhattan looming behind us, he got down on one knee and he proposed to me.
That's romantic. What'd you say?
Nothing. I simply got up, kissed him on the forehead, and threw myself into the river. In hindsight, it might have been easier if I just said no.
If you want to wait, Bobby should understand. Hell, I had to wait 13 years before my Vivian would marry me.
Jeff, you were what, 11 when you asked her?
That's right.
And she was?
My 6th grade teacher.
I know that. How old was she?
Just this side of 35. But that's not the point. And she needed some time to come into her own before we got married.
Jeff, I'm just curious. How many states would put you and Vivian in jail?
Fewer than you think.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah. Hey, hi, Missy. Hi, Jeff.
Hi, Bobby.
Janet. You know what? You've got guests. I can always...
No! We won't.
Yeah, we won't out way out here.
We're out the door.
We're in the hallway.
We're on the sidewalk.
How was your flight?
Fine. Good flight. How was your drive home?
Fine.
Well,
Are you hungry?
A little, yeah.
Great.
Look, Gail.
Oh, sit down at the table. I made a great dinner. Just sit down.
I'm such a flibbity-gibbet. Oh, my favorite wine, my favorite bread, sourdough, raisins. She took out the raisins. Oh, this is the best. Please, don't have made cream chip beef. Just don't have made cream chip beef.
Cream chipped beef.
You shouldn't have.
I loved making dinner for you.
Sure looks good.
Well, shall we eat?
Sure.
It's cream chipped beef.
Do you cream it and chip it yourself?
Well, I cream it. Someday I hope to chip it.
Looks good.
Thank you. Bobby, what you said to me was the most beautiful thing. It's the most wonderful moment in my life.
That's fine, Gail.
You can eat more than that.
No, really, that's plenty.
You know, I've waited all my life for someone special to say those words to me.
Really, I can't, please, no more.
Ever since I was a little girl, I wondered what it would feel like to have someone say those words to you, and now I know. So I just want to say thank you, Bobby.
Well,
shall we eat?
Yeah, it sure looks good. Gail, I just want you to know that I had no idea I was going to ask you to ask you what I asked you when I asked you.
I believe that.
All my life, I have done impulsive things, stupid things, and most of the time it's gotten me in trouble. Well, not all the time, but about 9 times out of 10. Could you stop eating while I'm talking? I guess what I'm trying to say is that, considering the fact that I've done so many impulsive things, so many stupid things, 9 out of 10 times in my life, I would understand if you said no.
I didn't say no.
I know you didn't say no. I'm just saying I would understand if you did say no.
You want me to say no?
No, I want you to say what you want to say. I am just saying that if you say no, I will understand.
Well, it's obvious you want me to say no.
What's obvious is that you want to say no. So why don't you just let me say no for you? And like I said before, I'll understand. I'll be disappointed, deeply disappointed, but I'll understand. Let's eat.
No, what's obvious here is that neither one of us wants to be the first to say no.
Why is that?
Because it's obvious that neither one of us wants to hurt the other one's feelings, but by saying no or yes. So, I have an idea. Let's say our answer together.
Okay.
So, I'm going to count to 3.
Okay.
And then we'll take a silent count of 1.
Yeah.
And then we'll say our answer together.
Okay.
Ready?
Uh-huh. Ready.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Why'd you say that?
Why didn't you?
Well,
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
So we'll do it again. Okay? All right. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
Sure.
1, 2, 3.
No. Oh, Gail.
Trick me. Your mouth went into a
Oh,
nose.
Gail, I am devastated. I did no such thing. I'm completely devastated.
I'm sorry. You know, I don't know what to say. I love you. I adore you. I can't imagine my life without you. But how can I marry you?
I'm only 40 years old, you know? I have my job, my career, my life. You can't just expect me to give it all up.
Marry me, Gail, marry me. Sure, I'm a impetuous, stupid guy that does terrible things 9 times out of 10, but this is one time. In spite of myself, I'm going to do the right thing. Marry me, Gail.
Okay.
Every second of an asthma attack can feel like an eternity. That's why there's Primatene Mist. Primatene opens clogged breathing tubes in as fast as 15 seconds. Primatene Mist, the fastest type relief known.
Kentucky Fried Chicken asked this man to help prove how irresistible our new honey barbecue wings taste. Just look at those tender, juicy wings, prepared with our savory barbecue sauce and sweetened with just the right touch of honey. For a limited time only, new honey barbecue wings from Kentucky Fried Chicken. So irresistible, the experts are already buzzing about it. In fact, they're spreading the news.
What's that cool going down? What's that chill through you? That's a taste of real refreshment, just for the taste of it. Diet Coke.
Wednesday, Jake and the Fat Man are caught in a murderous widow's web.
This isn't over yet.
And her next victim could be...
Bye-bye, DJ.
Jake and the Fat Man. Then, the Mafia Prince who broke the code of silence. Born again or marked for death.
I think he has to be crazy.
Bad Fellas on 48 Hours after Jake and the Fat Man.
When Private Eye Nick Slaughter...
Andre Bernier and Mark Schrader for Cleveland's own News Center 8 this morning, weekday mornings at 6.
We'll bring you news, sports, and weather from Cleveland's own 24-hour newsroom. And at 7, CBS This Morning updates you with news from around the world.
Weekday mornings here on TV 8.
Wednesday, Jake and the Fat Man are caught in a murderous widow's web.
This isn't over yet.
And her next victim could be...
Bye-bye, DJ.
Jake and the Fat Man. Then, the Mafia Prince who broke the code of silence. Born again or marked for death.
I think he has to be crazy.
Bad Fellas on 48 Hours after Jake and the Fat Man. Like the deadly Black Widow spider.
He became obsessed with this case.
She destroyed every man in her life.
His mother was his own executioner.
Even her own son. Top Cops, Thursday.
This is CBS.